Hello everyone, this is your boy coming at you with a new video at the very moment. Um, this is the time, or this is the week for the NFL draft. It's approximately 3 days away. I'm sorry, 2 days away because Monday today, Tuesday, Wednesday, NFL draft with the first round is Thursday. That's the complete first round only. The second and third the second and third round is going to be Friday, and the fourth through the seventh is going to be Saturday. So that probably going to wind up. That probably going to be the Saturday that is going to be the entire morning. Going to start from like probably 8 or 9 or maybe 10 in the morning, all the way to about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, depending on how fast it goes. Because by that time, most teams are collecting players for backup, because that's why they call it the fourth round, the fourth through the sixth round at that very moment. Because see, I've been watching the draft for many years, going back towards 1994, 95, so long I've been watching the draft. And that's when I started to get more urgency to know about football around that time. Even though I was an Eagle fan since 1980, I was just a fan of the team. I ain't know a single player. I ain't know player by positions, coaches, all that. Around 88, 89, 991, and when I started to get a full and an understanding of the NFL. So I'm gonna say this kind of funny to some of you guys. You may think it's funny, but um, back in 1985 when the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl, um, my mom at the time, she was always seeing a bunch of she was always seeing white men play football, but she never seen any black men. So she kind of was putting for the Chicago Bears, with Chicago Bears being mostly an all black squad. She was putting for the Chicago Bears, and so from that point on, I started liking Chicago, but I wasn't a fan of them. Cause sometimes you can like another team, but you're a fan of one. That's the difference between the two. So I can say I'm an Eagle fan all day long, but I can go back and I say, well, I am a Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay, but I'm a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, or I'm a fan of the Cowboys. Yeah. But you know what I'm trying to say. So during my young stage, I was kind of like in between both teams. I was watching Chicago Bears play some games, and I was watching the Eagles play some games. And I think when I finally got a full understanding of it was 1988, was the Fog Bowl in Chicago, where it was fog everywhere. It wasn't that foggy at first, but it was a deep fog. It started over time. It started getting deeper and deeper, where you couldn't see a player tackling, you couldn't see a wide receiver running routes, you couldn't see a safety getting ready to hit somebody, or you couldn't even see the quarterback throw the football, or the offensive line who they're going to block defensively, and such and such. You couldn't see a thing. So the game was where the Eagles was winning the game, but Chicago somewhere along the line came back and won the game in the Fall Bowl, which was a playoff game. So that's the game the Eagles won. And Buddy Ryan was the coach at the time, and so you can understand how I got to understand of the NFL as far as games being played. So as time went on, I got a good understanding of the NFL and players by position, offense, defense, special teams, coaches, such and such, owners, everything. At the time, it was just 30 teams. In the 90s, we had the Carolina Panthers and Jacksonville Jaguars, who were new at the time, and they wound up being 32 teams instead of 31. I mean, instead of 30 team wound up being 32. So, you know how that goes. New team, 95. Carolina Panthers, a new team. Jacksonville Jaguars, new team. So that's how it pretty much got started from that point on. But Eagles fan all day, bleed green all day. It doesn't change when it comes to my team, who I love and who I respect from 1980, from becoming a fan up until now, which will be my 39th year of celebrating the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm so glad they won a Super Bowl in 2016 season. So, I'm sorry, 2017 season. So you know how that goes. I happy right now. And this is the man who scored the Philly special, and it's the guy who won us our first Super Bowl, 41-33. That was the score. It was a high-scoring game. Matter of fact, it was the highest-scoring Super Bowl in history, from what I've been told. And I think that stands to this very day. But anyway, and last year's Super Bowl with the Patriots and the Rams, that was one of the worst games, one of the worst Super Bowls in NFL history. And I don't like the game, but it was a defensive game, and it was horrible. So it's just called experience versus inexperience. So with that being said, the Eagles have another chance this year to go back to the Super Bowl. They done bought back some players like Deshaun Jackson. They done bought back Malik. They done bought Malik Jackson on a 3-year contract. So he's gonna line up with Fletcher Cox by way of injury, who he suffered in the postseason, and he had surgery, and now he won't be able to play until training. He won't be able to practice until training camp, so we know how that goes. And a lot of other players have had injuries and won't be ready for OTAs or training camp. Right now, it's called the warm ups, where teams are coming in to get their workouts. Teams are coming in for workouts now, and some guys will be able to work out real good, and some won't be able to. So that's how that is going to be. But anyway, sorry for these books are falling down. I'm trying to make it decent where you guys can see the draft magazine, but it keeps falling. So I'm hoping that it will hold. Okay, I'm leaving right here. So with that being said, then go ahead and get started on these draft magazines. I'm gonna start with this one first. So this is the one that I get in the mail every year. And at one point, the company who produces this magazine here used to produce Eagles Digest, and they have stopped doing Eagles Digest now, going about 10 or 15 years. And it disappointed me that they actually went that route. But so the only one they print now is just the Draft Digest. They print these every year, and I have an odd feeling somewhere along the line they're gonna stop printing these. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with this one first, because this is my favorite magazine, and I got some news that I'm going to break later on in this. Well, no, matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and break the news now. See these 3 draft magazines? This is gonna be the last time that I'm going to buy 3 magazines per year, because these magazines now are getting very, very expensive. At one point, the magazine used to be $7, $8, $8.99, $7.99, $8.99. Something longer been there. Now they don't go over the $10 mark, $10, $11, or $12, depending on which issue you get. And these 2 issues right here, this one here is $9.99. I'm sorry, this one is $8.99. This $8.99 right here, and this one right here is $9.99. See what I'm saying? The issues have not increased their price, and so I will not be buying no more of these magazines no more this year. I'm gonna stick with Draft Digest, and this one I'm gonna be doing all my reviews from going forward. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and work with this one right quick. I'm gonna put these 2 down and go ahead and get it going right quick, so you all can see where I'm going and coming from. Let's start with this one right quick, Draft Digest. Now, reason why I get the Draft Digest, because it always has pretty good information as far as the draft concern, or the following year. It always has players in the back of the magazine. It lets you know what players are coming out next year, 2020. It has that every year. It's called the not the mock draft, but see where it says what's in store for 2020. It's right here. It lets you know all the players are going to be coming out for next year's draft. And but I'm gonna go ahead and start this magazine right away. I'm gonna go ahead and pitch it to the Philadelphia Eagles, which is right here. I'm gonna go ahead and read every segment of what it has to say, so you guys understand where I'm going to come from when it comes to the draft. Status report. They went 9-7 last year. You already know the deal with that. 9-7, they made the playoffs. barely when they beat the Chicago Bears in the first round of the playoff, on to lose to the Saints in the NFL conference round, and help wanted it let you know what they needed: offensive tackle, running back, cornerback, positions filled, which was defensive tackle and tight end. Well, you already know we got two tight ends, which is Dallas Goedert from last year's draft, and Zach Ertz, which is who is now going into his 7th year in the NFL. Defensive tackle, we got Fletcher Cox, 2012 draft, first round draft, number 12 overall. Then we got Malik Jackson, who already has a Super Bowl ring from 2015 when the Broncos went to the Super Bowl. He has one ring with them, and he went to Jacksonville, played a couple of years there, and the Eagles got him via free agency because the Jacksonville Jaguars cut him. So the Eagles picked him up on a 3-year, $30 million deal, which is like 15 or 20 million of that is guaranteed. And he might not have he might wind up playing no more than 2 years with the Eagles. The Eagles might cut him after 2021. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, it's just showing what all positions that the Eagles need. The Eagles need a wide receiver. They need a tight end, another tight end if they can get one. A defensive tackle, defensive end. They need a linebacker. We need at least 2 safeties, and we need at least one running back. I think those are the positions that need to be filled. The Eagles already got Josh Howard from the Chicago Bears via trade, who they traded a 6th round pick. I'm sorry, a 5th round pick for one. But if he starts the rest of the season, that pick will go up to a 4th round. So we'll see how that works out. And we had one wide receiver who we got via trade. Also, that was I hate to mention his name because right now his name is bitter in my mouth, and that is Golden Tate, who I had a lot of praises for. But he wound up he signed a 4-year deal with the New York Giants, and all the time he been hollering about going to the New England Patriots. The Patriots said fuck him, so he wound up going to the Giants, who signed him to a 4-year deal. But the Eagles will get a compensation pick for him 2020. I think it'll be a fourth or 5th round pick for him. Compensation come 2020. So that'll be another pick since we lost him. We get that compensation pick for him. So this what this particular book says. It has a lot of other teams near and their particular needs. And put that one down. I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one. This is still, it's also Lindy Sports Draft 2019. As you can see who's on the front cover. Matter of fact, on all 3D covers here, it has Nick Bosa's brother on the front cover of each and every last 3 of those. I tried to find one with the Philadelphia Eagles on it, but no luck on that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and work with this one right quick. Philadelphia Eagles right here once again. In every issue, I'm gonna go with the Eagles, let you guys know what's going on, how I feel, and what needs to be done in every position. So then go ahead and work with this book right quick. This one here says 2018 stats. Offense, 14th ranked in the league. Last year we were like a top 5 ranked offense because the simple fact is last year we lost some position coaches, and that would cause some of our play to die down a little bit. Teams caught on. Teams started stacking the box against the run. They wasn't respecting the run. They wasn't even respecting the pass, and that would lead to Carson Wentz getting hurt. But who also threw for 3,000 yards, over 3,000 yards passing, or 20 touchdowns, like 9 or 10 picks. He had a good year, but the back injury caused him his injury to go out for the rest of the season. And so he won't be back proper till training camp. And from what I've been told about him, he will not be ready for these workouts that they're currently going through now. But they said he might be better or might be somewhat okay when training camp rolls around. So we see how that works out. And has a 5-year breakdown. We got a C+ because what I just explained to you guys right quick. Like I said, our offense ranked number 14 last year, and the year before it was ranked in the top 5. A lot of things changes, the RPO, so they were able to get a lot of things taken care of in free agency. Now they got to get to the draft, which is going to solve a lot of problems and for getting some youth on all three sides of the game: offense, defense, special teams. That's why the fourth through the seventh round, which is going to be Saturday, the Eagles are probably going to be drafting players for special teams because we need help in that department. The Eagles haven't blocked a field goal, or much less even blocked a punt, in the past 5 years. And that goes right back to Chip Kelly's era. Because when Chip Kelly came to the Eagles, the coach who they had, who now the special team coach now, I can't think of his name off the bat, but you guys know who he is. When he first started, the last 3 years, 2013, 14, and 15, the Eagles had one of the top 5 ranked special teams in the NFL. But after the new coaching change came to be, the special teams kind of dwindled off. Teams have been kicking balls different directions, or they've been punting the ball different directions, keeping returners from returning left or right or up the middle. So they have figured out ways to stop that, and they have done a very successful job. So this draft is going to depend on special teams, which is the fourth through the seventh round. But like I said, the first, second, and third rounds, we don't have a third round pick, so the Eagles won't pick on the second day. So I'm probably not going to watch that draft, but I am going to watch. Well, I'm sorry, I am going to watch that draft, but after the 2 second round picks, I'm probably not going to watch the draft after that. I might. It depends on how I feel with the remaining lateral picks. Cause the Eagles pick both in the 50s, so we see how that works and who they draft going forward. Because see, that's one thing I hate about it, when you don't have a third or fifth round pick that we have given away for players via trade, such and such, it hurts. So we'll see how that goes going forward. So back to the book, as I was getting ready to say, offense ranked 14, rushing 29th in the league because we didn't have a good running game. We've had a mixture of running backs pounding the rock, with Josh Adams being the last one that we've had to run the rock, and he rushed for like 500 or 600 yards rushing, 2 or 3 touchdowns, maybe somewhere longer been there, not quite exactly sure, but he was hurt majority of the time because the fact is he wasn't able to stay healthy. So you talking about a skinny guy running the ball up the middle and getting hit multiple times, so that puts a pound on it. So I think Josh Adams this year need to add more weight. If he can get something like between 225, 230 and can run the ball like that, we got our feature back. And Josh Howard, or Jonathan Howard, whatever his name is, I don't know if he's gonna be an afterthought or he's gonna be the starting running back. I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. So with that being said, back to the book. Passing game ranked number 7 in the league, because the simple fact is we've had Carson Wentz, who didn't play till like week 3 or week 4, and Nick Foles week 1 and week 2, I want to say, and he won both of those games. No, he won one of those games. The second game, week 2 game, was against the Bay. We lost that game by a major blowout, and after that, my boy Wentz came back, was healthy at the time, but a lot of people believe he probably shouldn't even have him play that whole season. They probably should have let Nick Foles play the rest of the season. But like I said, so many people said so many things. I don't know how that goes. So with that being said, toward defense, 23rd in the league. Last year, our defense was ranked in the top 10. And how can you fall from 10 to 23rd in the league? You know why? Because we wasn't getting a good pass rush. We have lost a bunch of defensive backs in the process. We have lost Jalen Mills. We have lost McLeon, one of the safeties. And we have lost quite a bit of players in a defensive rotation. But we have been able to bounce back because we've had Maddox, who is a Pittsburgh alumni, and he was able to fill the need at that process, and he did a damn good job. So with that being said, I believe the cornerback position is going to be very, very interesting to watch this offseason because, like I said, Maddox, I think he's going to be for a starting position. He has the size. He's 60. He's 5'9" or 5'10". He's a very short defensive back, but the way he played last year, he played like he was 6 feet, between 6 feet and 6'3". So he has the ability to play safety, and he has the ability to play cornerback. So where he gonna be, no one knows. I think he would do real well in special teams this year. So if he can continue to play special teams and play his role, he'll be a starter before the beginning of the season or then at the end of the season. We see how that work out with Maddox. Rushing attack, seventh. We have multiple running backs, like I said before. I'm surprised it's seventh. You know what I'm saying? So that with that being said, that was okay, which was better than the rest. Passing defense. I'm sorry, that's rushing defense and passing defense. Passing defense was ranked 30th, and rushing defense was ranked 7th. So we were good against the rush, but bad against the pass, and that's kind of what this here exactly pretty much explains. Because the need on this side of the page here, just say we need running back, left tackle, defensive line, defensive back, and we need special teams, which is probably true. Like I said before, between the 4th and the 7th will probably be players that are going to play on special team depending on how and who they draft going forward. All right, end of that book. And I go to the next book, and this will be the last book that I'm going to show. Like I said, it got Nick Bosa on the cover. All three of these magazines had it, and this is the last one. And this one probably gonna say something different, but I'm not exactly sure because, like I said before, I was able to review each and every magazine. I normally don't read the all 32 teams in the back. I always talk about the players, and that's what's most important. The players, the teams. We already know who the teams need. We know it automatically. It's all about who we draft, where we draft, and most importantly, how will they do with the draft. So I'm going to take it right quick if I can find it. Let me see if I hit that Jacksonville. Okay, England in Dolphins. Okay, where are you? Where are you, Eagles? Jets, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Tennessee. Hold on now. Must have gone past it. Let me see. Try this again. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And like I said, this is definitely this is gonna be an interesting draft. And who we draft, I don't know. But who, when, and how, I don't know as well. So I'm hoping that somewhere along the line that we get players that are going to help us win the Super Bowl. Oh, here we go. Philadelphia Eagles. Here we go. That's the Eagles right there. And you see who that is at number 96. That's Derek Barnett. Year before last, first round pick. After we won, went to the players. We drafted him pretty high last year, but this year we got number 25th. Now the Eagles do have the ammunition to move up in the draft, but the question is how far and how much are they willing to pay for the cost? Because everybody knows when you are below 20 in the draft, first round draft, if you move up, you're going to lose a bunch of picks because the teams that moving down are going to gain picks. So you got to kind of play your game very carefully on that. And so I believe the Eagles are not going to trade their second round picks. I believe they're going to keep both of them. But if they do manage to move down, I love 25 and move between 28 and 32, they can garner extra picks, maybe another third round pick and another fourth round. So we'll see how that goes between now and then. Like I said, the draft will be a very interesting one. I can't wait to see how they're going to turn out. Let's go ahead and get to this book right quick so I can go ahead and end this segment. This is the Eagles, and they're telling you right there the all-season priorities. Offensive tackle, defensive end, running back, cornerback. That's pretty much the four needs that we're going to get. So maybe the Eagles are going to use both of their picks on defense. Maybe they're going to use their first round pick on offense. We don't know. I believe we need another defensive tackle because, see, Fletcher Cox is 28 years old and Malik Jackson is 29. These two guys are in the prime of their careers as far as plays go, wear and tear. You know, it depends on how you keep your body fresh for the all season. Because that's one thing about it. After you don't play so much football, some teams, some players go back to the Nova Complex and get their conditioning early before the rigor mortis of the season begin. Because y'all know it gets hot between June, July, and August. That's how it is. And so with the workouts beginning now, which is now spring, but it's still warm too. And you got all that grass out in the field. You got to play in that heat. It is what it is. And that's the NFL. That's the rigor mortis of it. And you all know it. Because some of y'all be out there in those bleachers watching teams play or practice for that matter. And the heat is unbearable. So plenty of water and fluids and what you have to do and what it's all about. Now, there's just an all-season depth chart right here. Defense, special offense, defense. It just shows who we got, who the starts are going to be, who the backups are going to be, unrestricted free agents. Because the Eagles still got a bunch of free agents now that is out there, and teams are not picking. I think the Eagles only lost a couple of free agent players who signed with other teams, and Jahi is still out there, and teams are not signing him because he has a very bad injury history. The 3 years he with Miami, the 3 years the 2 years he with Miami. The first year he was a Pro Bowl running back. Second year he got hurt, and he didn't play the year that they won a Super Bowl. So the Eagles wanted to trade it for him, and that was the third and fourth year. And then last year he played pretty well, but got hurt, and his season was over before he even began. So the Eagles didn't bring him back because he was injury prone. This guy was injured 2 of the last 4 years he's been in the NFL. Right now he's 25 years old, so he's a young free agent that's out there, and teams are not even going his direction. So we see how that works. He one of them guys that probably want to sit up and wait until another running back gets hurt and he gets that call on a 1-year deal. And we all know 1-year deals are actually lowball contracts unless you are, if you've been healthy so many years, and then you get the 1 year, $1 million deal, or you get the 1 year, 2 or 3 million, depends on. But if Jahi does sign with the Eagles or come back, he will not get the money that he really asking for. He might get a 1 year between 5 to 800,000 probably, and a little bit of that is guaranteed. So there's a lot of things going on with that board there. So I really can't even say what's going on with Jahi because he really hurt the running back rotation when he got hurt last year, and then Bros, he's a veteran. He's been in the league 15 or 16 years in the league, and a lot of people believe he's a Hall of Fame running back. I think so because he has over 19,000 yards, and the Eagles are trying to bring him back, but I'm not sure if they're going to work out or not because he was hurt most of last year. He came back and reactivated injury again, and he out the remaining of the season, and then he wound up playing in the playoffs. So, like I said, so many injuries happened with the Eagles between now and last year that caused us to go 9-7. And when you don't have all your starters playing, the production drops off, and that's what happened with the Eagles last year. And that's why Wentz got hurt because he haven't had no running game that was existent. And the fans have been crying all year, saying, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. You know how I know? Because I was one of them. The Eagles will run the ball for nothing. And I think we all know why now. Because running backs were getting hurt. Josh Adams got hurt midpoint of the season. He ran the ball extraordinarily well, but like I said, he got hurt. And he didn't do very well. He came back in the playoffs, and he got about 1 or 2 touches, and that was it. So this is going to be a critical year for Josh Adams because he's going to have to get bigger, he's going to have to get stronger, and going to have to be able to run between the tackles a whole lot more. Maybe the Eagles use him more of a pad catcher because he is 6'3", so he's a big back. So he probably can play a little bit of wide receiver out the backfield. That would be good for him. That way he won't be able to suffer much injuries. So a lot of things going on with that kid. So we know how that works. He's young, but a lot of things going on with him. So we'll see how that works. Wow. I mean, I've said so much. I hope that you guys heard and understood everything I said because this right here, boy, I mean, everything I said in these last two books are pretty much in this same book here, which is the first time in a long while because most magazines have something different to say. This time they all saying the same. We need a running back, offensive tackle, defensive end, and a defensive back, safety, or cornerback. They all saying the same thing. And the Eagles this year only got what? Round one. They got 2 picks in the second round, no third round. They got a fourth round. They got no fifth round. We got a 6, and we got 1. We had 2. No, we had 2 or 3 7-round picks. I think we only got 1 now. So Egan got like 6 or 7 picks, 6 or 7 draft picks all together. I can't exactly sure say how many, but like I said, I don't waste enough of you guys' time. This footage is going over 30 minutes, which means half an hour. Whew. This is James, or AKA J Rock, signing out. Like I said, this is the last time that I'm going to get these 2 magazines. They cost too much. And I'm going to stick with one magazine. That's going to be this one. Because this magazine here is $9.99 via the mail. And these 2 I buy in the city. And they are $8 and $9.99, like I told you guys earlier in the video. And they cost too much. And that's about what, 10, 20, that's about $30. I don't spend on magazine. At $30, it could go to something else. So I'm not gonna be spending 10 going forward. This could be the only one that I'm gonna be getting every year. And this is probably my 15th or 16th year collecting these. But like I said, they used to make Eagles Digest. And I got a bunch of Eagles Digest magazines over there. Back then they were all paper. They wasn't as glossy as this. They were all paperbacks. And I got all of them over there. I'm going to one day make a video on those as well, but it could be considered a throwback video. So with that being said, this is your boy, Darth Rock, or James, or J Rock, however you want to call it, signing out. Peace, one love, and like I said before, if you like my video, give me a thumbs up, and if you don't mind, go ahead and sign the subscribe, press the subscribe button, like my video. Hope that you do. I got over 100 videos on my channel dating back to 2017. I had some more, but they are obsolete in a sense. So if you like this video, then you might like the rest of my video, because they all based on different things. They based on things that I done purchased, up for CDs, music, shoes, clothes, jersey, like what I got on here, hats. I got so many videos. So mostly of my videos are based on sports, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. So this is your boy signing out. Once again, peace, one love.